Welcome to today's episode on Captivating History, where we embark on a fascinating journey through one of the greatest dynasties in Chinese history, the Tang Dynasty. Before we delve into the remarkable achievements and cultural milestones of the Tang, it's essential to understand the pivotal chapter that preceded it, the Sui dynasty. Established in 581 AD, the Sui dynasty was a brief yet highly transformative era. Under the strong leadership of Emperor Wen, the Sui initiated a series of sweeping reforms that aimed to unify China after centuries of division and turmoil. The dynasty is best known for its ambitious infrastructure projects, including the Grand Canal, which not only facilitated trade between the northern and southern regions but also fostered cultural exchange and communication across the vast territory. However, the Sui's stringent policies and heavy taxation placed a significant burden on the populace, leading to widespread dissatisfaction and unrest. The growing discontent resulted in a series of revolts, culminating in the dynasty's collapse in 618 AD. This marked a turning point in Chinese history, as Li Yuan, a former general of the Sui, seized the moment to rise against the crumbling regime and ultimately established the Tang Dynasty. The Tang Dynasty would go on to become a golden age of prosperity, innovation, and cultural richness, profoundly influencing not only China but also the broader East Asian region. It was a time when poetry flourished, art reached new heights, and the ideals of Confucianism were revitalized. In today's video, we will explore the fascinating story of the Tang Dynasty, examining its political structures, cultural achievements, and the remarkable figures who shaped its legacy. We will also discuss the challenges the dynasty faced, including internal strife and external threats that ultimately contributed to its decline. If you are passionate about history and eager to uncover the captivating tales that shaped our world, be sure to subscribe to Captivating History and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. Join us as we dive deep into the intriguing and often complex history of the Tang Dynasty. Chapter 1. Founding Period. 1. Li Yuan and the Sui Uprising. In the 6th century, China was in a state of turmoil, divided and ruled by the Sui dynasty. Established in 581 AD, the Sui aimed to unify the fragmented regions of China under a strong central government. However, the dynasty's ambitious projects, such as the construction of the Grand Canal and the expansion of infrastructure, were financed through heavy taxation and forced labor, which led to widespread discontent among the common people. Emperor Wen's stringent policies, while initially effective in establishing control, ultimately placed a significant burden on the peasantry, leading to increased resentment. The oppressive regime sparked numerous revolts across the nation. Among the disillusioned was Li Yuan, a prominent general who served in the Sui military. Sensing the growing unrest, Li Yuan recognized the opportunity to challenge the ruling dynasty. In 617 AD, he initiated a rebellion, rallying support from other discontented soldiers and local leaders. His military acumen and charisma quickly attracted followers, allowing his forces to gain momentum against the Sui. As the uprising spread, it became a beacon of hope for those longing for change, uniting diverse factions under the banner of rebellion. 2. Year 618. Li Yuan proclaims the establishment of the Tang Dynasty. By 618, Li Yuan's forces had gained significant victories, culminating in the capture of the Sui capital, Chang'an. With the Sui emperor dethroned and the dynasty in disarray, Li Yuan took the momentous step of declaring the establishment of the Tang Dynasty. He adopted the title of Emperor Taizong of Tang, signifying a new era in Chinese history. The establishment of the Tang Dynasty marked the end of the tumultuous Sui era and ushered in a period characterized by stability, cultural richness, and territorial expansion. Emperor Taizong's rise to power was not just a personal triumph. It represented the aspirations of a people weary of oppression and eager for a more just and prosperous society. The new emperor was determined to build a strong, centralized government, learning from the mistakes of the Sui. His leadership style was marked by pragmatism and a keen understanding of governance, which would lay the groundwork for one of the most celebrated dynasties in Chinese history. 3. Reform policies. Upon ascending the throne, Emperor Taizong immediately set to work on a series of sweeping reforms designed to consolidate his power and stabilize the empire. One of his primary focuses was to strengthen the administrative framework of the dynasty. He reorganized the government, decentralizing certain powers while ensuring loyalty to the central authority. This allowed for more efficient governance and a more responsive bureaucratic system. Recognizing the importance of the agrarian economy, Taizong implemented policies that alleviated the burdens on farmers. He reduced taxes and introduced land reforms aimed at distributing land more equitably among the peasantry. By improving the welfare of the common people, he sought to foster loyalty and stability, which in turn would benefit the empire as a whole. Moreover, Taizong revamped the military, emphasizing the need for a strong and disciplined army to protect the empire's borders and expand its territories. He also revitalized the civil service examination system, which had fallen into disrepair during the Sui dynasty. By opening government positions to those who excelled in these examinations, Taizong ensured that talented individuals could rise to prominence based on merit rather than family connections. This move not only attracted skilled officials but also contributed to a more capable and efficient administration. Through these policies, Emperor Taizong was able to build a powerful and unified Tang Dynasty, setting the stage for a remarkable period of cultural flourishing and territorial expansion that would define the Golden Age of China. Chapter 2. Prosperous Period. 1. Emperor Taizong, 626–649. A. Reforms and Development. During this period, Emperor Taizong, also known as Li Shimin, implemented a series of revolutionary reform policies aimed at consolidating and developing the Tang Dynasty. He focused on improving the administrative machinery of the state, enhancing governmental efficiency, and reducing corruption. Emperor Taizong adopted the principle of governing the people with benevolence, emphasizing the importance of winning the people's hearts to build a strong government. He also carried out significant military reforms, strengthening the army to ensure that the armed forces could not only protect the territory but also expand its borders. Generals were selected based on their capabilities and loyalty, which transformed the military into a formidable and valiant force. In terms of the economy, Emperor Taizong encouraged agricultural development by lowering taxes on farmers and restoring irrigation systems that had been damaged during the Sui period. He promoted trade and invested in infrastructure, building roads and bridges to facilitate commerce between regions. These reforms not only fostered a prosperous economy but also created a stable political environment, thereby consolidating the power of the Tang Dynasty. B. Warfare and territorial expansion. Under the reign of Emperor Taizong, China's territory expanded significantly through military campaigns against neighboring countries. He led several successful military operations against the Khitan, Turkic tribes, and various other ethnic groups in the north and west. This expansion not only reinforced the power of the Tang Dynasty but also opened avenues for cultural exchanges with other civilizations. One of the most notable campaigns was the conquest of western regions, extending Tang's borders deep into Central Asia. This not only enhanced the emperor's authority but also promoted cultural and commercial exchanges with other peoples, enriching Chinese culture in the process. 2. Emperor Xuanzong, 712–756. A. The Golden Age of Culture. Following Emperor Taizong, the Tang Dynasty continued to flourish under the leadership of Emperor Xuanzong, also known as Li Longji. This period is regarded as the Golden Age of culture, arts, and intellect. During his reign, many famous literary works were produced, including timeless poetry from renowned poets such as Du Fu and Li Bai, who reflected the struggles and aspirations of individuals in society. The arts, particularly painting, also experienced remarkable development, with works capturing the beauty of nature and the human experience. Artists of this period not only focused on technique but also created unique styles, leading to significant advancements in Chinese art. Music and performing arts became increasingly popular, and Emperor Xuanzong himself was a passionate patron of the arts. He invited talented musicians and performers to the imperial court, fostering a vibrant cultural atmosphere filled with grand festivities and celebrations. B. The Silk Road. During this time, The Silk Road became a vital element in connecting China with the outside world. Emperor Xuanzong facilitated international trade, encouraging merchants from various regions to come to China to exchange goods and cultural ideas. The Silk Road not only brought economic benefits but also served as a cultural bridge, introducing knowledge, religions, and customs from different civilizations into China. The robust development of trade and culture during this period contributed to an unprecedented era of prosperity and stability, profoundly impacting the history and culture of China and its neighboring countries. This truly was a magnificent epoch in the history of the Tang Dynasty. Chapter 3. Crisis Period. 1. Inlushan Rebellion, 755 to 763. A. Events and impact. The Inlushan Rebellion, which unfolded between 755 and 763, stands as one of the most significant and devastating uprisings in Chinese history. Led by Inlushan, a general of Turkish descent who had risen through the ranks of the Tang military, the rebellion emerged from a complex backdrop of political, social, and economic turmoil. Dissatisfaction had been brewing among the military and peasantry due to heavy taxation, widespread corruption, and the perception that the central government was increasingly ineffective in addressing the people's needs. In 755, Inlushan declared himself emperor and launched his rebellion against the Tang Dynasty. His forces quickly achieved remarkable successes, capturing the capital, Chang'an, in 756 and forcing Emperor Xuanzong to flee. This catastrophic event not only resulted in a staggering loss of life, estimates suggest that millions may have perished, but also led to significant destruction across northern China, devastating the region's infrastructure and agricultural capacity. The aftermath of the rebellion was profound. The once mighty Tang military was severely weakened, and the empire struggled to recover from the economic and social chaos that ensued. The rebellion marked a turning point in the history of the Tang Dynasty, as it significantly undermined the dynasty's stability and authority. B. Weakening of imperial power. In the wake of the rebellion, the central authority of the Tang Dynasty experienced a dramatic decline. Local warlords and military governors, known as jiadushi, began to gain substantial power, effectively challenging the emperor's authority. These military leaders took advantage of the chaos, establishing their own bases of power and often ruling with an iron fist in their respective regions. As the Tang government struggled to regain control, it became increasingly reliant on these local warlords, leading to a decentralization of power that fragmented the political landscape. This shift not only weakened the central government's ability to govern effectively but also set the stage for further conflicts as different warlords vied for dominance. The fragmentation of authority resulted in a loss of cohesion within the empire, making it increasingly difficult for the Tang dynasty to maintain its former glory. 2. Social unrest and instability. The Inlushan rebellion and the subsequent weakening of the central government triggered a period of social unrest and instability that permeated all levels of society. With the imperial authority in decline, many regions saw a rise in uprisings and revolts as local populations reacted to deteriorating economic conditions and the oppression of rising local leaders. Famine, rampant corruption, and lawlessness contributed to widespread discontent among the populace. As local warlords consolidated their power, they often imposed harsh taxes and extracted resources from the common people, exacerbating their plight. The resulting social unrest led to numerous conflicts and revolts, further complicating the already chaotic landscape. Additionally, the growing power of local warlords frequently resulted in violent clashes between rival factions, creating an atmosphere of fear and instability. The Tang dynasty found itself embroiled in a struggle not only for survival but also for the restoration of order and unity, facing mounting challenges both internally and from external threats. This period of crisis was marked by profound uncertainty, signaling a dramatic shift in the fate of one of China's greatest dynasties. Chapter 4. Period of decline and fall. 1. Failed reform efforts. As the Tang dynasty entered its decline, the central government made several attempts to restore its authority and stabilize the realm. However, these reform efforts often fell short due to a combination of internal strife, corruption, and the entrenched power of local warlords. In an effort to regain control, the Tang emperors introduced reforms aimed at addressing the issues of military overreach and bureaucratic inefficiency. They sought to curtail the powers of the jiadushi, military governors, and restore centralized governance. Despite these intentions, the reforms frequently faced resistance from powerful local leaders who had grown accustomed to their autonomy. Additionally, the central administration struggled to implement these changes effectively, hampered by rampant corruption and mismanagement within its ranks. The lack of support from both the military and civilian sectors further undermined the government's efforts to enact meaningful reforms. Ultimately, these failures deepened the crisis within the empire, leading to increasing instability and further weakening the central authority. 2. The final uprising. The culmination of the Tang dynasty's decline came with the final uprising and subsequent collapse in 907 AD. This period was marked by a series of rebellions and power struggles among local warlords, leading to widespread chaos throughout the empire. The last emperor of the Tang dynasty, Emperor Ai, was unable to exert control over the increasingly fragmented political landscape. In 907, the dynasty officially fell as one of the most powerful jiadushi. Zhu Wen deposed Emperor Ai and declared the establishment of the later Tang dynasty. This transition marked the end of the Tang dynasty, which had once been a beacon of culture and power in China. The formation of the later Tang signified a shift in political power, leading to a period of fragmentation and instability that characterized the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, further complicating the future of China. This decline and eventual fall of the Tang dynasty serve as a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by great empires, illustrating how internal divisions, failed reforms, and external pressures can lead to the disintegration of even the most formidable powers. Chapter 5. Period of Decline and Fall. 1. Failed reform efforts. As the Tang dynasty entered its decline, the central government made several attempts to restore its authority and stabilize the realm. However, these reform efforts often fell short due to a combination of internal strife, corruption, and the entrenched power of local warlords. In an effort to regain control, the Tang emperors introduced reforms aimed at addressing the issues of military overreach and bureaucratic inefficiency. They sought to curtail the powers of the jiadushi, military governors, and restore centralized governance. Despite these intentions, the reforms frequently faced resistance from powerful local leaders who had grown accustomed to their autonomy. Additionally, the central administration struggled to implement these changes effectively, hampered by rampant corruption and mismanagement within its ranks. The lack of support from both the military and civilian sectors further undermined the government's efforts to enact meaningful reforms. Ultimately, these failures deepened the crisis within the empire, leading to increasing instability and further weakening the central authority. 2. The final uprising. The culmination of the Tang dynasty's decline came with the final uprising and subsequent collapse in 907 AD. This period was marked by a series of rebellions and power struggles among local warlords, leading to widespread chaos throughout the empire. The last emperor of the Tang dynasty, Emperor Ai, was unable to exert control over the increasingly fragmented political landscape. In 907, the dynasty officially fell as one of the most powerful jiadushi. Zhu Wen deposed Emperor Ai and declared the establishment of the later Tang dynasty. This transition marked the end of the Tang dynasty, which had once been a beacon of culture and power in China. The formation of the later Tang signified a shift in political power, leading to a period of fragmentation and instability that characterized the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, further complicating the future of China. This decline and eventual fall of the Tang dynasty serve as a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by great empires, illustrating how internal divisions, failed reforms, and external pressures can lead to the disintegration of even the most formidable powers. If you found this exploration of the Tang dynasty fascinating, be sure to subscribe to Captivating History for more intriguing stories and insights from the past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Join us as we continue to uncover the rich tapestry of history together.